How's your father doing right now?
He and the doctor had another discussion about it. But the doctor reinstated that, well, there isn't much time left for my dad.
In other words, he was only given a little while longer to live? Well, that's great news.
What?
That means we'll be getting more money, right? Isn't that just the best news you've heard all year?
Wait. What the actual heck are you saying right now, Xander?
I just told you. The fact that your father was just told he only has a little bit longer to live means we are that much closer to getting his life insurance. When he passes away, we should get close to $1 million, right? I already went and started work on a new house, so as long as he kicks the can soon, we'll be set. I am oh so looking forward to when that time comes.
Who are you?
What? I'm your husband, Xander. Why are you acting so dumb right now?
I'm just wondering because my husband Xander has never said anything so heartless like that before. You're joking, right? Why would you say something like that?
I have been thinking about all of this for a very long time, but I never wanted to say anything to anyone about the money. However, soon your father's gonna be passing away, so I don't have to hold back my true thoughts and desires anymore. And the fact that you never had a mother around when I married you makes all of this so much easier. I'm so glad I was able to hold back my feelings this long.
You're a dick, Xander.
Hey, shut up! It's your fault for never noticing the fact that I was into you more for your father's money than anything else, idiot! Did you really think there was anything else about you that drew me in besides your family's money? When it comes to all women, all you're good for is helping us men move up in the world. And that's why I'm using you as my stepladder.
Is that the way you've thought about me this whole time?
Should I say what I really think? Would you go and spill all of this to your father right after? Well, if you go telling him anything that I've said and will say, the shock will only make what time he has left shorter. Man, the fact that he has to die before he ever even got to see any grandchildren is really so heartbreaking. You've been such a freaking idiot that you never had a chance of realizing my true intentions. Now, for dinner tonight, I'm gonna be having some steak to celebrate. I'm sorry, Emily, but I can't answer my phone right now. I'm actually getting ready to head out to see Dad at the hospital and be with him for a bit. You should take a day or two off to relax a bit, please.
Sure. Thank you for doing that.
Emily, have you been feeling okay recently? I'm sure the stress of hearing that news from the doctor is really getting to you. But has anything else happened?
It's nothing important to you right now.
Don't lie like that to me. Anything that's important to you is important to me too, and it causes you to be upset. Isn't that right?
I suppose so. And considering I'm talking with you, you'll find out what's been going on with me eventually.
Of course I will. I'm your little brother after all. And that's why you should stop hiding what's been going on and tell me now.
Well, here's the thing. When my husband learned about the fact that Dad only has a little while left to live, he started to cheer about it. He told me that once Dad dies, we'll be getting his life insurance money and everything else.
I see. That's pretty messed up of him, to say the least.
Are you not surprised by all of that?
I sure am, but I know that you'd never be lying to me about him. When it comes to your heart, there's no room in it for forgiving Xander anymore, right?
Yes. Well, of course.
Do you want to divorce him?
If I could, I'd love to divorce him and cut him out of my life forever.
Then I'm going to start supporting you through that process to make sure you can get him off your back for good. You were the one that picked me up when I was down on my luck, and I want to repay the favor for that now. I want to show you how thankful I really am for you coming and saving me from that life of being completely on my own. And the fact that someone would be willing to make horrible comments about my dad like that, I will not allow him to walk away with a win.
Thank you so much, Ricky. You're making me feel a lot more confident now.
I'm happy to hear that. I'm your little brother after all, and I want to make sure you're okay. Hey, Emily. Where are you at right now? You didn't even stay home last night to make me those steaks I asked for. Instead, you ran off to spend the night somewhere else. Huh, were you in shock after finding out about the true me?
I spent the night at my little brother's house last night.
You're far too old now to be spending the night at a college student's place. Honestly, I feel so bad for him having to house you.
I no longer want to be with someone like you, Xander.
What? Honestly, I don't care what you do or when you do it. But just remember that you're carrying my child, and when you give birth to it, you'll have to come back to me. They'll be asking where their father is and things like that.
I'll just tell them that their dad was scum and not worth having a child of their own.
You'll say that about me? Yeah, I'm sure that a woman like you who grew up in a house with no mother would never understand this. But when it comes to children, they're best off having both of their parents around, right? And considering that you are barely making any money as a simple office lady, and that you'll no longer have your father around, your only option is to come back to the breadwinner, me.
I don't actually think I'll have to go back to you.
Stop trying to act all tough now, Emily. When your father kicks the can, his money will all be mine. How about you tell me what allergies he has so that we can get this show on the road?
Shut your damn mouth!
What's got you all riled up?
I'm not sure if all you're saying is because of a misunderstanding on your part, but I never said anything about my dad expecting to totally pass away here soon.
What?
What my dad was told is that the cancer is in his blood now and can cause a lot of problems that will kill him in months if not treated. But last night, the doctor started him on some new therapy that will target his bone marrow and try to kill wherever that cancer is. Of course, there's not 100% this will cure him completely, but it should help him gain a few more years. And as far as I'm aware, my dad's little brother will be donating some of his bone marrow to my dad.
What? In other words?
The doctor thinks that my dad still has a decent chance, and that is why they're putting him through this therapy and treatment plan. Of course, after the cancer's been taken out of his blood, he'll still have to undergo constant monitoring. But at least he'll have plenty of years to stick around with us. In other words, that means you spilled the beans too early.
Huh? What the hell, man? Why didn't you tell me about all of that sooner? I was getting so worked up about what came next. Things are all screwed up now. This is all because of you and your crappy communication skills. As a way of saying sorry for ruining my mood, you're coming back here to make me up some steaks.
Why should I do that? You already know how much I frickin' hate your guts now.
Huh? As my wife, what did you just say to me?
What? So that's how you've thought about things this whole time? I was wondering why the only excuse you ever had for not ever doing the chores, cooking your food, or doing the laundry was because I'm your wife. We're getting a divorce now, Xander.
Are you kidding me? Who the hell do you think will allow you to get a divorce from me?
I'll be the one to take care of and raise this kid I'm carrying. I really don't want a monster like you anywhere near my baby once they're born. Also, you were just going on about how my dad's money would all become yours. What did all of that mean? You may be my husband, but you don't have any automatic rights to my family's money.
When the wife gets that money from her father, that money then becomes her husband's. That's why I will let you do anything besides get a divorce.
So you really did only marry me for my family's money. I'm happy to hear about that plan of yours now before it became too late.
Of course money's all I've wanted you for. If it wasn't for your family's money, I would never have married such a plain woman like you. That's why I've made sure I had other women lined up for the moment I got your father's money.
I've already told all of my family about you and your damn intentions. Both my dad and my brother are saying it's totally okay for me to cut ties to you. I'll make sure to take this divorce to court if I have to make sure I get away from you. So you can stop acting like you're my husband still and start acting like a stranger. That new house you got is under your name, right? That means after this divorce, you'll have to figure out what to do with that house all by yourself.
Huh? Who said you could just run your mouth like that around me? Did you really think that I'd just accept everything you just said? Get your ass home! And I mean get your ass home right now! I'm not gonna go easy on you tonight, you back-talking whore! Hey, say something! Emily! Hello again, Xander. Have you been doing all right over there on your own? Who's this now? Are you her little brother, Ricky? Tell me where Emily is right now. I want you to tell her to cut all of that childish crap and come back home right now. Why should she have to come back home to you? She's going to be divorcing you here soon, right? And whoever said that I was going to accept a divorce from her? And when it comes to something like that, the first thing we should be doing is meeting face to face to talk about it, right? No. Someone who starts to celebrate the death of our father? I don't think any one of us coming out to speak to you is going to get anywhere. That's just what an immature loser like you thinks. You go and tell that whore to get back home right now. I'm sure she's staying there at your place right now, right? Huh? I would hate to tell you where she is right now because who knows what a psycho like you would do. So I'm gonna refrain from answering. I would not like to piss her off any. She's a very aggressive person when she gets upset, so I'll do as she's told me and leave this all be. Ah, but you've known about how aggressive she can be for a long time now, much like I've known about you. Huh? What do you mean by that? I happen to really love my older sister. As family, of course. A long time ago, I lost both of my parents in a really bad car accident, and after that I had nobody and had to go into foster care. But my dad had a really close friend who just so happens to be Emily's dad. And when he came to see how I was doing, Emily said she wanted me to become her brother. That's when he said it was a good idea, and the both of them took me into their home. That all happened close to a decade ago now. That was the first time I fell in love with people who weren't my family. What? What the heck? Then tell me why you were so happy about her and I getting married a while back and weren't all jealous about it. Well, that's because I said to you I love her like family, like my older sister. Not as some woman that I wanted to get married to or anything. And that's how I want her to stay, is as my older sister. Hence why I was so happy when she wanted to marry you, and you guys did so. Really, I've never loved her as anyone else but my sister. Now, I'd still be happy about that marriage, had you turned out to actually have been a good person. That's freaking disgusting! I think you have a few things wrong with your head, you freak! I don't think so, considering who's saying that right now. And unlike you, I happen to know a lot more about you than you think. Do you really know much about me? What are you getting at here, Ricky? You happen to work for a very large company as a businessman. You also happen to have to work late every night, which causes you to come home after 7 or so. And during the weekend, you love to go into work to finish up assignments or go on business trips. You happen to be well respected by all of your higher-ups, and all of your co-workers like having you with them. At least, that's what you want everyone to know. However, I know the other side to that coin. Huh? During the weekends, you don't actually go on business trips or into work. And during the week, you don't have to stay late working overtime. Instead, during all that time, you're going out to play with another woman. Huh? What makes you think you can say all of that about me with such confidence? I'll have you taken to court for trying to ruin my image. Are you kidding me? You can't take me to court that easily. And if you did, I'd be in trouble. However, I happen to have all sorts of photos as proof, as well as audio recordings and witness reports, so... Looks like a woman you recently met through an online dating website has become pregnant. Does that make you a jackass or something like that? Why do you know about that? All I had to do was ask around about you. And when I found the woman you've been with behind my sister's back, it all started to really come out. Of course, I didn't threaten her or anything like that to get the answers I needed, so you can relax, please. All I had to do was have a seat with her and chat for a bit. And then, soon, all of the evidence I needed spilled out. I don't care about her right now. Have you been following me this whole time or something? What? Are you trying to frame me like I'm some kind of a stalker now? All of this ended up happening by coincidence. Just coincidence. I was actually told about some of this from Emily herself before I started to just casually ask around. She told me about how you have always been coming home late from work and that she was worried you were overworking yourself there. I went out to have a word with you myself to see if you were doing all right. And well, I ended up seeing a few things that I probably shouldn't have, right? Later on, I went and had a word with the woman I saw you with after finding her, and she spilled the beans. That's all, Xander. You think I'm gonna just take that as being coincidental? I have no reason to believe what you've just told me. I'm sure you've been stalking me this whole freaking time. And then you waited for a time like now to come out and screw me over while my wife is trying to divorce me. I know what you've been up to. Huh? Would you be able to prove something like that in court? Because based off the way you said that, all after I brought up some facts, you seem to be cornered. Oh man, I don't have the kind of time to be dealing with all your crap. You're really asking for it. There are some other things besides this, Xander. Huh? The fact that you just keep making crap up about me is gonna get you killed. Xander, did you know that in this state, gambling like you've been doing is illegal? What? I heard that you've always been well respected by your co-workers, but it seems that some of them go out with you during the night and gamble over something rather illegal. I hear that some of you will even gamble $10,000 in one go sometimes, which is pretty dang wild if you ask me. Now you're really trying to make things up about me. No, I'm not, because I have all the evidence right here. What? Did you know that recently I've been interning at your company and have seen you a few times in the office? I'm in another department from you, so of course you'd never really notice me, but I've been well aware of you. I'm sure you're just used to working in such a large company that plenty of people come and go all the time. But when I went out and had a few drinks with some of the employees there, they told me all kinds of very interesting things. Things that would normally embarrass people when saying them, but for some reason all of them acted like they just didn't care that I heard them. And all it took was a small act of kindness to get the rest of the info I wanted to hear out of them. Excuse me? Don't tell me that you bribed them! Are you being serious right now? Of course I never bribed them, I just gave them a couple extra drinks on the house. And that money was money I made interning for the company, so don't think that I'm getting it the same way you do. Actually, a lot of those drinks were expensive, so I had to pull savings from my old job to afford them, but it was worth it in the end. Anywho, now that I have all this damning evidence of you gambling over things like that, I've been thinking of bringing it up with the head of HR. You're joking, right? Not at all, Xander. Isn't this just great? You'll finally have a reason to get out of that lousy department you've always been complaining about. And this will only strengthen my sister so that she can get this divorce and free herself from trash like you once and for all. What the hell? Who the hell are you, Ricky? Why the hell were you able to pull all of that off so easily? What? You don't know why? I happen to really love my sister and will do anything to make sure that she ends up happy. Emily, help me! I don't think I'll be able to handle being on my own anymore.
I'm pretty sure that I've already told you I no longer want anything to do with you. I can't believe you've not only been cheating on me that whole time, but we're also gambling over chicken fights.
You already know about that?
Ricky told me everything about what you've been up to. I guess the place he's been interning at has been the same company you're working for. He told me that the news about you and some of your coworkers is so well known that it wasn't hard to find out about what you've done.
So that asshole is gonna use everything he found out about me to keep this fight going? Hey, Emily, that dick is just trying to make me look bad. If he'd never gone and lied to everyone about me, I would still be the well-respected man I've always been in that company. It's because of him that everyone in the company no longer wants me there, and my life is fallen into shambles.
You're blaming Ricky for that? I'm not too sure how he could be the one to blame for that. Well, whoever is to blame, the one thing we can all agree with is that the things he found out about you are true, right? Then that means you're the one at fault.
That's...
I'm embarrassed to have been lied to by such a pathetic man as you. Know that this divorce is never going to go away, and that I will be getting a settlement from you now. By the way, Xander, I hear that you may have borrowed some money from my uncle, and he's asked you to pay it back to him right now.
Huh? Why do I have to?
Why do you have to pay money you borrowed from him back? Because you borrowed it. And that money you borrowed went to gambling on chicken fighting, right? I'm sure you won't be able to pay it all back to him, but just be aware that one of your company's biggest customers happens to be my aunt's company. And she said that as long as your company has an employee like you within it, she will no longer be working with them. Today she'll be contacting the company and telling her things are off, I assume.
What? What? Your aunt's the owner of that company? I never knew anything about that.
I'm sure you would have never noticed, but she's my mom's sister and has a different last name from us. And she's been the one in charge of that very important factory that purchases great deals of whatever your company manufactures. She happens to be very well known within that sort of world, so once you've been forced to leave your current job, good luck finding another in that field.
If she does anything to me, then I'll be screwed. How much more do you all plan on hurting me?
I'm not sure. You went and hid things from me for years while treating me like a jerk, so... Oh, and that doesn't even include all the crap you've put me through while I've been pregnant.
I feel really bad about what you're having to go through right now while carrying our kid. I'm sorry. Honestly, I'm sorry for everything. I've just been so busy with work and became a bit stressed after marrying you, so you could call this marriage-related stress.
That's something that happens before getting married, right?
That's right. I just realized that once you have that baby, I'm going to become a father. And that means you'll have to become a mother to that baby, right? You've already been aware of that this whole time since you've been pregnant, but for men it's a bit hard to understand that just yet since we don't have to do anything. You women would never understand this, but men can be very confused when it comes to what to do when their wife is pregnant.
You really think I'm going to agree with such a lame excuse? Are you trying to say that while the wife is pregnant, it's totally okay for the husband to do whatever he wants? You're telling me it's completely okay for them to cheat, for them to commit crimes? You sound like an idiot saying that. If you're really having to go to those lengths to look for an excuse, you're better off rotting in jail. I can't wait for you to lose that job.
What? You don't know if I'm going to be fired yet or not?
Actually, I do. I heard about it from Ricky.
All of this always ties back into that damn Ricky! Ricky said this, Ricky found that. Ricky! Shut the hell up! All of this is because of you! Because of what you've done, I've been left in a terrible position.
So now you're resorting to making this my fault? I have no idea what to say anymore.
If you just told me everything that doctor said about your father, then I would have never misunderstood you. And had you never gone and talked with that little bitch of a brother you have, you would have never had to find out about me cheating on you and my gambling. All of this is happening because of you, Emily. Your little brother is a real freak. He went and stalked me for weeks like a crazy person. That just pisses me the hell off.
Don't you dare talk about my brother like that, you disgusting freaking bastard!
Huh?
Ricky has done nothing but think about me. He is the nicest little brother a sister could ask for. I guess he does have a thing or two that is off about him, but no matter what it is, he just wants to care about his family, and that's something I am proud of. You have no damn right talking about him that way. You're just a frickin' pussy hiding behind that phone. Don't you ever talk to my family, my friends, or I ever again. And when it comes to this kid that I'll be giving birth to soon, you will never get to see them.
No way. Hold up. I've already been disowned by both of my parents and have nowhere to go.
Oh? You told me before that they're out living in the middle of nowhere, and that's why we could never see them. This is the first time I'm ever hearing about how they disowned you.
About that!
Seems all you ever say are lies. I'm glad I finally got to learn the truth before it was too late.
Hold on a second, please. Don't just abandon me like this.
You have no right saying that after all the things you've said about me. I love how childish some adults seem to think they can act.
I'm sorry. I really am sorry. So would you please just forgive me already?
No frickin' thanks. And do you think you could really be forgiven after everything you've done? I get that you're frickin' brain dead, but try using that thing between your legs to put some thought into it. I mean, it's made that choice of having you cheat on me before, right? So go ahead, use it to figure out how much of a bastard you really are. Now I'm out of here.
Emily, I just finished work. How have you been doing recently?
I just had another horrifying conversation with my husband, so I had to go ahead and block him. And right now I'm diving back into all the paperwork since I once again have had my hatred for that man refreshed by him. Like I said, I just had another horrifying conversation with him, so I had to go ahead and block him. I've made up some stew for you on the stove, so hurry home and have some.
Awesome. I freaking love your stew, Emily. I honestly wish I could have you stay in at my place forever.
But someday I'm sure me being here would cause you some trouble. However, don't think that I won't be coming here more often once I'm moved out.
You would never become a problem for me. I love having you here with me, and I always will. The only reason I ended up living on my own in the first place is because when you got married, I moved out to go to school. But to be frank, it's been super lonely for me. So how about, until you've completely settled down, you stay here with me? I get that this place is small, but...
Ricky, seriously, thank you so much. By the way, Ricky, I really didn't know about how you'd been interning at the same company Xander's been working for. I thought you would have told me sooner.
I never realized either until I one day saw him walking around in the break room. It was a total coincidence, and he didn't even recognize me. This whole thing called life is really full of surprises at every corner, isn't it?
The divorce between Xander and I ended up happening not too long after I blocked him. And I was able to get both that settlement from him and child support. He was later fired from the company based on the gambling he'd been doing on chicken fighting, and that soon landed him in jail considering it was against the law. After about a month there, he was able to be released on parole, but now had to face the house he had signed for but could not afford. I'm sure he'll go out and find himself a new job, but that's only if he can find one before he loses his house and has to be kicked out onto the streets. As for myself, things have really calmed down in my life. I've been living with Ricky at his place, but I'm not going to rely on a college student for housing. So I'm in the process of moving out of his place and in with my aunt at her house, where I can then prepare to have my first ever baby. Ricky will be coming over to see me every week and make sure I'm doing okay, and we'll be visiting even more when I have the baby. I'm so happy that my family is willing to keep a good eye on me after all I've been through, and are willing to do all of this to help me. But I really just hope that Ricky doesn't stay attached like this to me forever and goes out to find a woman and a life of his own after college is done. Perhaps he already has a life that I'm not aware of yet besides being around me, and will show me when the time is right. He really is the best little brother a sister could ask for. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.